Hey everyone, happy Monday. So, last week I introduced myself and I shared why the modern journey exists. This week I want to go a bit more personal. So, I moved to the UK from Nigeria in August of 2011. I was about 17 years old. And I know when people hear that, they probably think, oh my gosh, that must have been so scary. That must have been lonely. And yes, there were moments. But the truth is, I had been in boarding school since around the age of like 11. So, being away from home wasn't completely new to me. What was new was this: it wasn't just independence, it was adult independence, like big boy independence. A new country, new system, new rules, new everything. And there was one moment that still gets me when I think about it. I came with my mom. We spent a little time in London. Then we went up to Coventry, which is where I started doing college. It was called Henley College at the time. And there was this homestay setup where you stayed with a local host to kind of get you used to being in a different country, a different area. So my mom dropped me off at the house. She helped me move in my things. And within a couple of days, she was gone, like properly gone, back on a flight to Nigeria. And I remember saying goodbye, not even in a like dramatic kind of way, just like very surreal, just a very surreal way. It hit me that she's getting on a plane and I'm staying here. I will be on my own here. And I just want to pause and say this because I don't think I've said it enough and I probably can never say it enough. That was very courageous of her to bring your 17-year-old son to a new country, get him settled, and then fly back home, knowing he has to figure it out on their own, on his own. So, Mom, if you are ever watching this, which I know you will, or at least I hope you will, thank you genuinely for everything. I love you so much and I appreciate you. So, after that, she left and I went into autopilot, classes, new routines, new people, new friends, new systems. And the homestay lady, she did help a lot in that early period, not in a replacement parent kind of way, more like she gave me a soft landing. So she helped me figure out things that sound normal when you've grown up in that particular country, but they were completely new to me. So getting a GP, which is like the doctors, getting a dentist, learning how to move around, new bank accounts, all those different systems. And every now and then we'll go out for a meal, and she even made sure I was okay on my birthdays, which was nice. Yeah, just one birthday because I moved somewhere else after that. Those little things, they mattered more than I can explain. But that first goodbye to my mom, it still stands out of everything. And that's because starting over doesn't just change your environment, it changes you. So today I want to share 5 things that starting over taught me about myself, not polished lessons, like real ones. And as I say them, you might realize that you've been starting over too, even if you've never changed countries. Because sometimes starting over is a new season, it's a new job, it's a breakup, it's a move, it's a mindset shift. It could be anything. So here we go. Lesson 1. I'm more adaptable than I thought. I used to think that strength meant being unbothered, but moving showed me that strength is adjusting without losing yourself. New systems, new cultures, new ways of doing things. And I realized I could learn them fast when I had to. Even small things, like I remember hearing the police siren right outside the house. Of course, I'd heard sirens before, but not like that, not so intense, not so close. It shook me for a second. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Are they coming to get me? It's like ridiculous, but it's true. Looking back, it's funny, but it shows you how unfamiliar everything felt. Starting over taught me this: I can adapt, but I need time to acclimatize. Lesson 2. Community is not a nice extra, it is a need. And let me say this again for the people at the back. Community is not a nice extra, it is a need. I think this is the biggest one for me. I lost community when I moved, and what I didn't realize at first is that when you lose community, you can start living on autopilot. You're functioning, but you're not grounded. You're getting things done, but you're not fully known. Even before the UK, when I was in university in Nigeria for a year, I remember feeling a bit lost, and someone joked and they were like, oh, it's because you're not senior prefect anymore. And I was like, no, that's that's not it. It's because I don't have people around me. I don't have my people around me. I don't have the familiar rhythm. I'm not running on understanding. I'm running on survival. So starting over taught me I need community, not because I'm weak, but because I'm human. Lesson 3, I'm capable, but I needed wisdom fast. When you're young, you think capability is enough. Like, you're young, I can do anything, right? But starting over taught me that capability without wisdom, it can get you hurt. I got a part-time job. I started earning money and started learning the hard way. I got scammed at one of those jobs. Honestly, so bad a scam that my bank account had to be closed. And that was one of those, okay, welcome to the real world moments. It wasn't even about the money, to be honest with you. It was about discernment. Who do you trust? What do you sign? What do you assume? What do you double check? Starting over taught me I can handle a lot, but I needed to stay teachable. Lesson 4, I was braver than I gave myself credit for. This one surprised me, honestly, because I did not feel brave. And to be honest, I kind of still don't. I feel like I was just doing what I had to do, what was required of me. Classes, work, rent, travel, study, repeat. But when I look back and I think about it, gosh, I was 17 and I was navigating systems even adults struggle with. Like, adults. They struggle with it. They struggle with paper, they struggle with money, work, life. And I was navigating the systems on my own at 17. So starting over taught me that bravery is not really a personality trait. Sometimes it's just the decisions you make when you don't have any other option. And finally, lesson 5. If I don't choose healthier ways to cope, I will choose whatever is available. This is the one I will say carefully, but honestly. There were times I used distraction to cope, and it's just true. I gave my attention to things and people that didn't leave me feeling better. Not always bad in the obvious kind of ways, just easy escapes. Sometimes that looks like chasing attention, sometimes it looked like chasing connection in the wrong places. And starting over taught me I have to choose healthier ways to process life on purpose. For me, that looked like learning to sit with my feelings instead of running from them, learning to build real friendships instead of chasing quick validations, learning to put my energy into things that actually build me. So my faith, my discipline, my creativity, my purpose. I'm not saying this to shame my younger self. I may not be proud of every decision I made, but I'm proud of that young man. I'm saying it because if you don't build good habits on purpose, you will drift, and drifting leaves scars. So those are 5 things starting over taught me. Starting over doesn't always make you stronger in the way people say it does. Sometimes it just reveals what was already there. Your patterns, your coping, your hunger for community, your ability to adapt, your courage, your gaps. And it also reveals what you actually value. For me, it even forced me to find my own rhythm with faith and values. Not because my parents were nearby, not because it was expected of me, but because it had become my responsibility. So here is the question for the week. What has starting over taught you about yourself? Maybe you've learned you're stronger than you thought. Maybe you learned you needed people more than you admitted. Maybe you learned you avoid discomfort by escaping. Maybe you learned you can rebuild. Whatever it is, tell the truth, even if it's to yourself first. Even if it's just to yourself alone, tell the truth to yourself. And if you want the deeper reflections, the behind the scenes of what we're building, and the details for the live event, please go to modernjourneyhq.com and sign up for the newsletter. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.